Hey guys, today we'll be going over a replay by Izzy, a little Cammy action. I've already pre-reviewed it and I have some notes for it, and I think there's a couple takeaways from it that we'll get through pretty quickly. Overall pretty good, I think, with a lot of gameplay, with a couple things really holding you back there that we can work on. But let's just jump into it. So I want to pay close attention to basically the interactions to see if we're in neutral, if we're winning more often than not, and then how we're capitalizing. So this is all okay so far. We're doing all right? We're not really getting too wild. I can say like that's great poke. This is good poke for where you're at. I even think that going for that for another follow-up, it just worked, so it's okay to do it again. As you go further, there's probably a better timing for that. But I honestly like the choice. Like so far, I'll say we won one interaction and Akuma's won one because he adjusted to what we're doing really quickly. I wouldn't expect that from a gold player, so I think that's okay so far. Very good there. It's a defensive thing. I'm not going to call it a one interaction, but you got him off you apply some pressure. He pokes you out of the string. I don't want to focus too much on these types of things here yet. You could certainly develop at that, but that's not really what's costing you this game. But just something that I honestly, right now at 16, 1620, 1650 MR, I just started working on is making sure I'm never hitting a button when I'm minus like this and giving an opponent free damage. So I'll call it out here once, but I don't think we need to review that because at the level you're at, that's not what's costing you games right now. And honestly, you're doing pretty good. Okay, pretty good. Air trade, two fireballs, we parry, it's fine. That was a really great spin knuckle on the new patch. You got the timing down. We poke him, and we follow up with the same one. And he's kind of got a read now. I'm going to give him the one interaction here, but honestly, I see what you're doing and that works a lot, but at this point we have to stop because he's recognizing it. So just do that medium kick and stop. Okay, he doesn't really punish us, right? So it's, we don't like that, but that's not too bad. He gets the jump in. Okay, big part here. This is a free hit for us, okay? We can do whatever we want here. He's in a punish state. We throw him. So I'm gonna write this down now. Punish counter damage. So far 2040. We could do better than this, and we'll talk about how to do better than this later. But two things to note: this damage isn't the worst thing, but we also leave him in the middle of the stage. So we have options that will both carry him closer to the corner, which is where we want him, and also do more damage. So we'll see how many times this comes up. It's one instance so far. But that's a big one interaction for us, okay. Good poke, we calm down. Yeah, hit a button a little early, but that's okay. This is kind of scramble stuff, so I'm not tracking these. Okay, this is our DI counter here, and what do we get for it? DI. I know you've mentioned that you kind of know this, but the DIs, we have to make sure we're getting something from them, and a maximum of one per game. Jump in, that's okay, but this is good. You catch him walking in. So here's my question with this. It looks like you went for the bread and butter combo, like the jab, 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 spiral arrow, which is what you should be doing. We have to make sure we can nail this down. So if you haven't already, make sure you go in practice mode later and just practice this combo. I'll show you what I would do for that really quick. We need to be able to nail this like 95% of the time in a match. And this one, I'll get back to it. I think this one right now is harder to execute than the punish counter ones because we have to confirm this. The punish counter, we don't have to confirm anything. We know we're going to get a hit. So that's one part. And he knocks us down there. Honestly, I think you want a couple more interactions. We got, this is partly a playstyle thing. I had him at four major one interactions. We got two. He got more damage off of it. We got 2,000 damage. He basically got all of his damage off of it. not too big of a deal, but something to note is he's pretty good at reacting to our non-cancelable pokes, being the standing medium kick and standing heavy kick. I'm calling this out now so you have it for your notes later. I don't think this is necessarily the most important part of these matches, although it'll certainly help your game. I love those two buttons, but when we see someone taking advantage of DI to hit us when we're throwing those out, we need to slow down on those. It's okay to still use them, but you have to just use them less. I think you did this. If you did this in reaction to seeing him turn colors right here at round start, yeah, it looks like you're just if you did this on react to him going for the dry brush, great. If you just did this as round start to do something, it's gonna work a lot at gold. It'll work quite a bit at platinum. It'll stop working in diamond and master. It's better to break the habit now. We want to kind of be slow and figure out what he wants to do, and we don't just want to guess on something. Like if he just blocks here, then we eat a big punish counter and we lose this much life, right? But it did work out for us, so good on the Oki again. He gets a combo. Okay, here we go. Damage time, right? So he just won an interaction. We'll call it one interaction. One major interaction in neutral anyway. All right, so this is where we have to get something.
Too bad.
Okay, we get another 2040, right? Okay, great, good defense. This DI, I'm not gonna harp on the DIs. I'll say it once, and then we don't need to talk about it every time, but we have to have a reason to DI. There wasn't one here. More often than not, this kind of stuff, like, you're going to go 50-50 a lot of the time and win some and lose some, and, you know, pretty much evens out. But the higher you go, the more you just lose these interactions. So here, he doesn't punish us, so it's fine, but this is very punishable, and if you stop doing this, your win rate will increase. Like, I really advise to only use DI on, like, the counter DI reaction stuff, and if you don't, you know, if you want a second opinion, I talked with Show the Fox about this a lot, 9 months ago. Ask him his opinion on that kind of stuff. I think he could really showcase the difference when you dial it back, that you'll have a much more stable game plan. It's a poke, we counter poke, that's, you know, all pretty good for where we're at. Good poke. Again, here's a little habit that I'm picking up on, is this poke is good, but we can't really continue the pressure here. If we press a button, we're not going to reach, and he'll be able to counter hit us. And because we know we're in gold and platinum, like, he's going to be pressing buttons all the time. You can actually get away with this stuff a little bit as you get higher, because people start to respect your neutral. And so it gives you a little bit more space, but these guys aren't ever going to respect you, and they're just going to press, and we're always going to miss, and they're always going to hit us. So he doesn't really punish us too bad for it, and he burns out. But just something to consider is that was a mistake we could have avoided. That doesn't cost us too much here in gold and platinum, but will later. So this one, I think, was not, I don't know. Okay, let's jab, jab. So I think you were just going jab, jab, and kick here, and not trying to do the spiral arrow, but you could have, like, this could be that spiral arrow combo. So again, drill it. Another DI there, which we don't get punished for, but again, that will be a problem. You're doing really good on these, like, these Oki situations, but we have to be ready for this. So we know when we're doing this. Too far here. Okay, so we know this is safe. All right. Actually, do this so we can see our frame data. I'm gonna quick turn on frame data so I can talk about it. We don't need to necessarily understand this in big detail yet, but okay. We hit him and we're +5, which means that we can jab after this for free. 100% of the time to continue pressure. You throw out the stand medium punch, which is okay. If he's jabbing, he'll beat you on that, but I believe I guess I have to check that. But anyway, we get the hit here. So knowing this is pretty safe and we're looking for this hit, we have to be ready to confirm this into something. And here, basically what we're looking for is this hit, and you can go into a crouch medium punch and then continue your combo. But as played, that's okay. Again, these are good things to work on, but this isn't the primary. This isn't the number one thing to work on. Good air to air, good pressure. I will say that this is another little habit to break. Okay, and this really lines up with some stuff I'm working on to not press buttons in these situations. Okay, 3 jabs and we're done. If we hit another button and he hits a button here, he hits us. It doesn't matter. I won't say it doesn't matter. There are some exceptions, but think about it right now. Like, we got our 3 jabs, and so this sequence is over. Okay, we did what we could. We pressured him. Now it's time to start playing from neutral again and look for another opportunity to continue pressure. There are many exceptions to that as a rule, but for fundamentals, think about it like that, okay? That being said, though, I do, in general, like it because we pushed him away and we created space here, and so now we can play our game. But careful on that, just that poke, because that's never going to hit. So get a little impatient, hit a button, and it's not the worst thing in the world, but... Alright, that's pretty good, right? He misses because we're ducking, throwing this tech to get another DI here, and so far we have 3 DIs in this round, we have 1 DI in the last round, and we haven't gotten any damage off of it, okay? So he punishes us here, he misses, okay. So this is a punish counter, and you just won this round, okay? There's no chance of not losing this round on this interaction, right? But we threw, okay, so that's okay. But, so we now have something to work on, because this should 100% of the time kill him in this situation if you do anything other than throw. But I like this patience, okay? This is really, really good from your level. Like, we're not just rushing and trying to beat him. We recognize the situation. We're winning right now. We don't need to take a huge risk coming in. We just need to beat him, and we're being patient, and that's just great. Okay, that's sometimes risky, but in this situation, knowing that his DI can't absorb that, is, good. Okay, so I think overall, I think he's won a couple more interactions than us, but overall, we're doing pretty good. We're not making a ton of huge mistakes other than the DI, which isn't really getting us punished. He's not really punishing us very well. We aren't doing a great job, but we are doing better than he is. So it's pretty even round so far, and I think, honestly, I think you're in a better position to win the way you're playing, but we need to, the goals for this round is like, we can't be DIing, and we have to take advantage when he's missing these DPs to do something better. Guys, pushes back, we get another, here's our 50 eye of this set, right? And we still haven't gotten anything for it. This is a big mistake here. We're unsafe. He punishes us at this point, right? So, how much damage did he get? Not really a lot, but this is kind of unforced error, and he did 1,400 damage. So that's a good choice. This is all pretty good. Okay, so this is our 60 eye, and we'll see how we finally got some damage. 960. 1,600 into our SA3, which I do think that this is a good choice. So we'll say we got 2 here, 4,400 damage. Good choice to SA3 here. Your drive gauge is low, so this gives us some time to recover, and we don't burn out. So I like that. I'm a big fan of saving the SA3 to like close out around and kill someone, secure the kill. But if you're low drive gauge like this, it's great because it lets you rebuild it, right? The other exception is if they're low drive gauge and we can burn them out.
Continuing mission.
poke, decent neutral. That should be, maybe that was supposed to be an AA DP, and we just messed up the input, which is okay. Good challenge, but then we pressed a little too much, right? It's kind of what I talked about earlier. Good challenge. This needs to be canceled at this point. My thought is you're going for 3 jabs because that usually works. That only works if you're right on top of them. From this range, you get 2 jabs. You can do 2 jabs into a standing light kick, and this will connect actually. But as is, we kind of overstate our pressure and hit 1 too many buttons. That was, I like that to get him off. Yeah, that knocked off the DI. That was pretty good. He does that, DIs this again, he gets nothing. Okay, you just won this round. This is 100% your game. I think. We'll see. Okay, we get nothing there, right? So. He catches us a couple times. Okay. This is our chance here, right? Certainly if we didn't kill him last time, this time we do, but we get 2,000 damage out of it. Okay, so we'll say he has about, man, what is that going to be, like 30, probably about a little over 3,000, 3,500 damage or so, I think. Life, rather. Just 100 DI. Okay, we'll figure that out in a second. Alright, we jump in, he catches us, and that, you know, again, that if you see someone doing this, right here, he's not teabagging me, he's not being disrespectful, he's buffering that super. You see him do this, see? He's just waiting for you to jump or press a button so he can use his super here. It's something you can be aware of, and you won't get caught by this quite so much. You see Cammys do this a lot in neutral when they have SA3 and they're trying to, you know, waiting for someone to throw a fireball just so you can get out. But if you didn't know, now we know. Look out for this. 100%. He's just looking for that super, so we can't jump here. So, really the 2 big takeaways, 1 offensive and 1 defensive takeaway is I'm calling DI defense. It's kind of, we're kind of using it offensively, but for our sake, I'm going to call that a defensive choice. We used 6 DIs. We hit him once for 4,400 damage, so that's like 800 damage per DI, right? That is not a good ratio. He didn't really punish us for it too badly, but he should be able to get at least 2,500 damage. So, you know, that would be something like 14,000 damage for him and 4,400 for us, and you can't win like that. So I don't want to harp on that too much because I know you're aware of that and working on that, but just to illustrate that actually is a big kind of deal. Eliminating that will go a long way to helping the stability of the gameplay. So my guess is when you're hitting people with DIs, you're winning, and when you're not, you're losing. So we need to find a new tool because that's it's just not going to be very stable. So some training mode stuff. First thing is, let me turn on my controller so you can see the buttons I'm pressing, but first thing to do, if you haven't already, and even if you have, just go to this dummy settings, change his block to block after first hit. We're just going to practice this. I kind of messed that up a lot. Okay, so we're just going to practice this. Okay, if I mess up the timing, he's gonna block, right? So we just want to do this over and over until we can do this at least 10 times from each direction without dropping it, okay? I'm being sloppy, but something you might want to practice is doing it like that, because in it for a little bit. Okay, if I'm sitting here, like I can't jab him 3 times, right? But you can do this. A little far away, but if you get in the habit of that, you can get a little farther away. If you're right on top of him, you can always jab 3 times. You want these inputs to be clean. If you look at the you can't see where I'm pointing on the screen, but if you look at this virtual controller, you notice jab, 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 jab. We don't want to do this. That makes it a lot harder to be clean. It's easier at first, but get it down. Jab, 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 and buffer. Jab, jab, jab. Jab, jab. Jab, jab, jab. I'm starting this buffer motion as I'm hitting the 3rd jab. Okay, once you get this down, we change them to random block. And what we're looking for here is to confirm, okay? I'm gonna do this just twice to make it a little easier, but so we're practicing. If he blocks, we're not throwing out spiral arrow, okay? Once you hit him once, like, you don't have to think. You just know you're going to be able to spiral arrow, right? So if you hit him the first time, we don't have to worry about it. It's harder when he blocks the first, but we hit the second. Like, I can't even always confirm those. If I'm playing at the top of my game, I can. If I'm not, then I don't. But practice that, you know, practice this. Should be able to hit this. So actually a mistake by me, but again, practice it first on just block at the first hit so we get the timing. And when you get that down, you set it back to random, right? And then okay, so if he blocks, if he blocks, we jab, right? If he doesn't block, we can go into our combo, right? And that, practice that like 10 minutes a day. If you practice it more, great. But if you just do that 10 minutes a day, you know, at the end of a month, you're going to be so much better. It's really important that we, as Cammy players, our damage output isn't as high as some other players. So we have to make these interactions count, and we have to be able to confirm it. I'm not saying that I'm 100% successful at confirming things in match, because when you're in a match, it's a lot harder. People are doing stuff to you, you're doing stuff. So the first step, though, is just being able to do it in the training grounds here. So the other thing I would say is to block all. Okay, so go in. I'm using Akuma here, but you know, you could set anyone to use a DP, right? And just block reversal. You go to their specials. You look for the DP motion, turn it to OD. Punish counter stuff. Okay, he blocked the DP, so we've been doing this. Okay, we get 2,000 damage, right? So here's the new way I would do this after the patch that gave us a new tool for meterless. So crouch kick, or crouch heavy into the target combo, and then as a target combo going, you can buffer that. Kind of right as that last kick connects, that's where you buffer it. Okay, so already, right, we're doing 2,640 damage instead of 2,000. If they're in the corner, you can do a cannon spike at the end, we get 3,000 damage, okay? So that's already almost 50% more damage than we're doing by getting a throw. that'd be the first one that I would practice. The old patch, you can do something like this. But at this point, unless you see that, which that's heavy punch, or yeah, stand heavy punch into the heavy hooligan, into light kick, and then confirming spiral. That was the old patch 1 meterless, but at this point, this target combo is better. It also has pretty good corner carry, so it's pretty good anyway. If you want to spin a little meter, we could do a little bit better. This works both in the corner and outside the corner. If we do dry brush into this, heavy spiral arrow. Oops. You can see this stuff up too. So. That's 33. That takes a couple bars, so we have to know we have the bars, but alright, so that's 33, right? So at this point, that's almost 1,400 more damage than throw. I'm gonna try this one just so I can show you that. Hopefully I get this on the first try, but my execution is good, but it's not perfect. I need to still work on it. But in this case, where we have our super meter and a bunch of bars, we can do something like this. Oops. Do it from this side. I'm leaving these mistakes in here because it's important to see that like everyone needs to work on execution. That's why I don't do this in matches yet, because I can't do it consistently. But... Oops. Burn myself out. That's why checking the meter is important. I messed up. Okay, this time I get it. See, my execution really needs to work. I need to spend time practicing what I teach it. Got it that time though, okay. So there's like the full meter dump, right? We're getting 6,000 damage off of that. That's 3 of those throws. You can use that to close out the round. You know, if he has half life or less, really this much life or less, right? It's gonna kill. If you want to see like this was maybe an easier one. For a full meter dump. It's a lot easier execution and still doesn't do damage. See, almost 6,000 does burn us out though. But it kills Akuma, right? In this spot. Now, these last two are, you don't need to do those crazy ones. Like, if you want to practice it, great, because it will win you matches. But if you could just do the, you could do that one, and if you could do this that one, and corner, if you can add in the cannon spike, great. But like that alone would have been the difference, really, of you winning those matches and losing them. Because we'll set his health down, right? He's at like, he was about right here, right? So let's take a look. So we almost kill him. We give him the 1. Obviously, we can play with that a little bit differently and actually make that work, but right, and that kills him. Obviously, you can also do something like this. But the point being, like, it's just that if you just have a punish counter ready to go, then you'll win more games. And I understand sometimes it can be hard because you can do it fine in practice mode, but not in the game. So if if you can do this all, 10 times in a row without dropping it in practice mode, what I would like for you to do in the next couple games you play, rather than worry so much about whether you win or lose the match, you're really just playing like you just want to punish those block DPs. You win the match if you hit your punch count. I don't care if you win or lose at this point. If you hit that combo, you just you won. And that can be hard to do in rank because you're winning and losing points. So if you find that you can't do that in ranked yet, you can't adjust that mindset in ranked yet, play in Battle Hub or play with someone in a custom room, hit someone up on Discord or something and just play to try to punish, find those punish counters and execute that punish combo. And it'll take a lot of work and practice, but eventually you'll just notice you're just doing it without thinking about it, and at that point, like, it's time for you to work on something else because you'll have improved that aspect of your game. And that's the big part about this game is there's a lot of things you can improve. So you just need to pick one thing at a time and work on it, and the pieces start to come together. And before you know it, that's how you start growing as a player. But as you're working on these things, you'll probably lose more games that you would have won before because you're thinking about new things. So you're gonna lose today so you can win tomorrow, and that's really the important part. So I hope that was helpful, and good luck. And I'll be happy to see some updates from you here in the future.